Today, as a continuous health education program I have started, today I will be speaking on cancer cervix. What is cervix? Very most of the women is a cancer which mainly occur. It is mainly or what 100% occur in female. Is a cancer of reproductive organ. We call it uterus. I have tried to draw a sketch here showing the total uterus and different part of uterus. You can see here that this is the fundus of uterus, upper part of uterus. This is the body of uterus. This is the portion, one almost lower portion of total uterus, which is below the vaginal vault, is known as cervix. And again, there is epithelial cell which is there inside the uterus, or we call this endometrium. And this epithelial or endometrial cell is columnar type of cell, taller in shape. That columnar epithelial cell ends just before the exocervix start. So entire cervix can be divided into two part. A interior part which is not visible mostly, there are endocervix, where the columnar cell becomes the lining of endometrium, and exocervix you can see, which is visible mostly, and those are lined by squamous cell. So if you take a cross section here, you see the os here, the opening, and the nearby portion of opening is endocervix, and the outer part of cervix is exocervix. And in inner part of the cervix, nearer to the os, there is columnar cells lining, whereas in the external part, that is squamous cell lining. And the junction, what see here, between the columnar and squamous cell, it is known as columnar squamous junction, and the most of the cancer cervix start from this junction, and this is the area where get the cancer lesion start from this lesion. And this junction is visible in naked eye. If we put proper torch here, we can see through, or through colposcope, by magnifying this area or utilizing the video colposcope, we can see this area. So this is a primary area where cancer cervix develop. Coming to the you can see the entire uterus, fundus, fallopian tube, ovary, and this is vagina, this is a vaginal opening. So this is a very important reproductive organ of the all women, and in any part cancer may occur, but cervical cancer is very common, then endometrial cancer, ovarian cancer. So what is the dimension of problem of cervical cancer? Cervical cancer, again, it is third most commonest cancer after oral, breast. It is third commonest cancer in women. Particularly in the rural area and tribal area, we got higher incidence of cervical cancer than in urban area. And there are several reasons why cancer cervix occur in women, and It is one of the cancer we know, out of total cancer we know, the cause is due to human papilloma virus. Is a virus which causes dysplasia if this virus remain in this area for very long period, and ultimately they develop the cervical cancer. This is known as human papilloma virus. It has been established. So this is a cancer, the cause is infection. Where from this virus comes? Usually this virus is transmitted through intersexual relationship, and the women who have got multiple sexual partner, women who do not keep their maintain the hygiene, reproductive organ hygiene, women who have entered into sexual life in a very early stage, multiple childbirth, taking contraception for a very long period, infection, chronic infection, and smoking. And smoking is one of the cause of cervical cancer. But the very important cause, these are our core factor, but the cause is infection due to the human papilloma virus, which comes through if that lady is indulged with multiple sex partner, there is probability of virus coming from that partner to her, which get lost here, and they remain for many years, and gradually they develop dysplasia and cancer. So if we can control this infection, or we can vaccinate our lady in an early age before they go to a school up maybe 10 years or 12 years, as early as possible. In the Western country, they start immunizing the girls at the age of 10. But here in our country, usually girls are not that much exposed to the sex. So we can start a massive immunization program from the age 18 or above. So there are vaccine available for human papilloma virus. If it can be taken 2 doses in early part of life, we can prevent the occurrence of this infection. So that I will tell later on. But the thing is that as this cancer again is a visible cancer, we can see here how it affects, and what are the signs and symptoms of cancer here. So let me tell here that again the clinical sign and symptoms of cervical cancer are, suppose a lady who have attained menopause and suddenly he complains of bleeding or from per vagina. This may be a sign of cervical cancer or uterine endometrial cancer. If there is intercourse, during intercourse you get mild to moderate bleeding because of erosion of cervix, you may get this is the another important. So intermenstrual bleeding, if between the period, menstrual period, if you get the spotting or bleeding from vagina, if immediately after intercourse if you get bleeding, if there is a foul smelling discharge from vagina, the blood mixed may be there, if there is a low backache or lower abdominal pain or weakness, lethargy. So these are the signs and symptoms of cervical cancer. Mostly the intermenstrual bleeding and postcoital bleeding and bleeding after attaining the menopause is a very important sign and symptom of cervical cancer, mainly the symptom of cervical cancer. But the good thing here is the cervical cancer is one of the cancer which takes several years to fully develop, and the why I am telling that it takes several years, because when a lady get infection here, this may be mild or moderate or severe infection, this virus remains for 5 to 10 years, and gradually they disturb the total epithelial cell here. You can see here a normal vaginal epithelial cell, mostly squamous cell. You can see the each and every cell and nucleus of the cell is morphologically normal. The cytoplasm and nucleus ratio is normal. Basement membrane is intact, and you don't see any dysplastic or abnormal cell here. This is normal cervical cytology. The precancerous stages are, we call CIN1, cervical intraepithelial neoplasm stage 1, where you can get the squamous cell mostly normal, but few cell are abnormal where nucleus size has high, the cytoplasm nucleus ratio is less, so most of the area is being covered by nucleus, which can be seen under the microscope in pap smear. Similarly, cervical intraepithelial neoplasm stage 2, we call it low grade, we call it high grade, where you get many such abnormal cell in comparison to where it was hardly 1/3, 2/3 were normal. Here 2/3 is abnormal, 1/3 is normal. But basement membrane is intact. Stage 3 or cervical intraepithelial neoplasm, these are all precancerous stages, where almost all the epithelial cells are dysplastic, where nucleus size is more. But again, the basement membrane is intact. So we call it carcinoma in situ. And when basement membrane get ruptured, there is invasion of this cancer cell beyond the basement membrane. We call it invasive cervical cancer. Then we do staging according to the size of lesion, according to the distance it has covered, the portion of vagina, bladder, rectum involved, lymph node involved, distance metastasis has occurred. So these are the thing which we see while doing further investigation. So the good thing is that a patient coming, a infected woman, if infected here when her cervical squamous cell was normal, and coming to at this stage, it takes 5 to 10 years. 5 to 10 years is a very long time. and within that time we can identify any abnormality in the cervix, and we can treat that woman, and we can cure cervical cancer or precancerous stage 100%. So here what happens, how you can, number one, if when a lady comes with a symptom of intramenstrual bleeding or postcoital bleeding, foul smelling discharge, low abdominal pain or low backache, she has already gone into stage 3 of CIN or invasive stage. Usually in the stage CIN 1 and 2, even in 3, women, they don't give any sign and symptoms. So they don't go to hospital for any advice for doctor. Why a patient or person should go to hospital if she doesn't have any problem? That is the reason why we do cervical cancer screening, and should be done every year to the women of age group 30 and above. What we do here, how we can identify these conditions as early as possible. Number one, even though there is no symptom, the routine screening, annual screening procedure, where what we do a very simple test at the village level or sub-center level or primary healthcare level. This test is known as VIA test, visual inspection with acetic acid. We use 3 to 5% of acetic acid. Very simple test. And that 5% acetic acid we take in swab, and we wash this area, total the cervix area which is visible, and put a good torch. After say 2 to 3 minutes, again we see that area after putting acetic acid, and we see if there is any pathology of this type. We see the aceto-white patches in junction, in vicinity to this junction, columnar squamous junction. Aceto, is milky in color. Earlier it was not there. Even you can see this area before you put the acetic acid. It is always almost healthy, or reddish endocervix and pinkish exocervix. So when you put acetic acid for 1 minute or 2 minutes, after that you get the white patches here, which was not there. A very distinct patch. Sometimes it is raised, milky, and these patches shows is the earliest sign of cervical cancer and patient in stage of precancerous stage. So after getting this white patch, we call this VIA positive, and we send that woman for pap smear and biopsy, and there it is detected whether it is in early stage or precancerous stage or in situ, and with very minor surgical procedure we can cure this woman and can give more than 10 years life. And hardly this test cost 5 to 10 rupees, and it can be done by A&M. It is required only 5% acetic acid. It required swab. It required coccus speculum. It requires a good focusing light. You can have a torch. You require a table and gloves. That's all. a tray, kidney tray. This is one time investment. But consumable item, it cost hardly 10 rupees for each test. So with spending 10 rupees, you are identifying a precancerous lesion in a woman, and after appropriate treatment saving life. Is it not a most cost effective evidence based intervention at the community level? So government should very strongly support this, to screen all the women of age group 30 and do it in every 1 to 5 years repeatedly, so that we can detect cancer very early stage. And if we detect this type of cancer in a very early stage with conization, with cauterization, with loop electrosurgical excision procedure, very minor which can be done in OPD. It is OPD procedures where you can discharge immediately in the same sitting after 1 or 2 hours, and patient may go to the home and take rest, and she will be okay. And every year you continue doing pap smear to know her condition. So this is all about cervical cancer. We can prevent cervical cancer by vaccination, by keeping ourselves reproductive safe, keeping ourselves not having multiple sexual partner, not smoking, getting immunized in early age, and annual checkup for VIA and pap smear. With this much, I can say 90% cervical cancer can be prevented. So thank you very much. Today I gave this message for all the women, and I would request all the women to regularly check up for cervical cancer. At least they can go to any hospital and go for cervical cancer screening. Thank you very much.